Welcome to COLSEN KEANE Leather, our studios here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we are excited to present to you a new product. A bag, a design that we've been working on now for almost 2 years in terms of designing it and writing it out and drawing it out. And finally, in January of this year, we took it to the table, to the bench, and began pounding and pulling and stitching and riveting. And we finally came to the fruition of the bag that we feel is the last bag you will ever need. What we've learned for the last several years from you as our client, from you as our customer, is the needs that you specifically have. So you come to us and you buy a bag and you say, well, this bag meets my needs today, and it's a certain size and a certain dimension. Maybe it's even a custom piece, and we make that bag to your needs. And then a year later you come back and say, you know what, I have to carry more stuff now. My job makes me carry more items or bigger computers, or actually I'm only carrying a few things now, so I need a more sleek, more minimalistic kind of bag. And so then we build that bag for you. And so some of you actually have 3 or 4 or 5 bags of ours, and you use them based on the context of your situation. And so what we've attempted to do is to create one bag that will allow you to adjust your situation, your life and work needs to that bag, and vice versa. And so I want to introduce to you our newest bag, and it comes from the same genre of the 4311 and the 4313, and we've tweaked it quite a bit to allow it to meet all the needs that you have in terms of the goods that you have to carry. This bag is true to the philosophy of our COLSEN KEANE approach to making bags, in that we over-engineer, we over-design. The buckles are too beefy, the rivets are too intense, the stitching is too overdone. And so we know that our product will last a lifetime, not only because of good design, but because the product is at a very intense quality and level. And so let me introduce to you, let me show you our newest bag, our number 4316. At first glance, the 4316 looks very similar to our 4313. Pretty standard in its dimensions, the same dimensions as a matter of fact, from left to right. 16 inches from left to right, 10 inches tall, and this right here is 3.5 inches thick. Again, the same dimensions as our 4313, but this being the 4316 has a couple of significant variances, and let me show you. So when I undo this buckle, you begin to see some of the inner workings of this bag. And you might quickly notice that there are 2 belt straps that are going throughout the entirety of the bag. They even go through the back part of it. And the idea of these 2 belt straps is, number one, they make the bag look chunkier and beefier, and they even have kind of an artistic look to them in and of themselves. But the idea of the belt strap is very intentional, in that it allows you to add pieces to the front, to the side, and to the back that are pouches and containers and casing that allows you to build out the bag to your specs, to your needs, to the items that you have to carry. And so in the past, when you've made a bag with us, or when you've ordered one, or maybe you've had a custom design, we built it to your needs and we stitched it all together, and that bag was not meant to come apart. That bag was relatively permanent. What we want to do here is give you a bag that is not permanent in terms of how you can use it. And so these 2 straps wrap around the entirety of the bag. Now this bag right here is our Crazy Horse hide. It has this, it's really nice, sort of supple yet very intense in terms of thickness. It's right at about 9 to 10 ounces thick. So the bag, again, is over-engineered. True to our standard is this bag is all one piece of leather except for the side panels stitched in. And the concept behind that is this. If I go to any other of our competitors, any other store that makes leather goods, typically they take small square pieces of leather and they stitch those pieces together, and those multiple pieces equal your bag. Nothing wrong with that, except anytime there's stitching introduced, there's potential weakness. And so for us, our intent is to give you as much of the hide as possible with as little amount of stitching as possible. So again, that we can make a bag that will literally last your lifetime. Your career is not long enough to use up this bag, and you can pass this down to maybe many generations. So I'm really excited about the option that you can add yourself is our inserts. So historically, if you buy a bag from us and you want to add an insert after the fact, you actually have to ship the bag to us. We have to unstitch the bag, reintroduce an insert, and then send it back to you. And that bag is now permanently put together with the insert in there, and it's not adjustable. We've designed a new way, a new system for your insert to be purchased a la carte after the fact if you decide you don't want to buy it with the bag initially. And you can have that insert added yourself. You can do it yourself. So the way we've done it, and you can see here with our 4316 model in Crazy Horse, the insert has Chicago screws up top, and these already come in the bag. So if you get the bag without an insert, you'll see these inside the bag. And they also have 3 snaps that go down to the bottom that hold everything in very, very tightly. All you have to do is unscrew those Chicago screws, screw the insert in, snap it down, and you're set to go. If you decide that for whatever reason you need more real estate inside and want to remove it, it's a very simple process. Unscrew them, unsnap them, and you're good to go. Also, what's helpful is if you decide you want both inserts, you can add the second insert to the front as well. It has the Chicago screws in there and the snaps, and I want you to see what it looks like when it comes with the bag. There's the screws and the snaps down inside the bag. So it's easily added and removed. Let's get back to how this bag operationally works. So we've got these 2 straps that run through the bag. These 2 straps can be undone by the buckle system in here, and those 2 straps completely come out, and then you can introduce different kinds of assets to the bag, different kinds of accessories. So what I'm going to show you now is what we made popular in our other bags, our 4311s and our 4313, is what we call the newspaper pocket and the rollerboard option. This rollerboard option allows you to allow the back of the bag to lift up, and you can adjust it depending on how large your rollerboard is, and you slide this over the rollerboard, the suitcase that you carry through the airport. And then you can, when you're not traveling, you can tighten it down and buckle it down so it stays close to the bag. Also here, and it might be hard to see unless you kind of come in close here, is this is what we call our newspaper pocket. And this is just a quick access pocket that holds a newspaper, a file, an iPad. It's really helpful so that when you run into the board meeting, you run into the classroom or whatever it is you're going, you might have your notes there, you put the bag down, you grab your notes, and you begin with the meeting. It's a quick access, again, for various items. Both of these items, if I unbuckle the system inside the bag here and undo it, both of these items completely are removable, which makes it helpful in terms of maybe you decide whatever your current traveling schedule is, you don't need this rollerboard option, so you decide for the next 2 months you're home and you take the rollerboard option off. Or you decide, you know what, I don't need the newspaper pocket option right now, and you can remove both of those or just have one of them. So it's completely interchangeable. You can do this. You don't have to send your bag back to us and we have to add it on after the fact. You can buy these a la carte. You can buy these to your specs and to your needs. We've also introduced a little bit more of a sleek shoulder strap. Some of you have said that the shoulder strap that we currently send out in some of our other bags is a little bit too intense. And so we've tried to sort of streamline the shoulder strap, but we do offer, as an upgrade option, to get our classic, larger, a little bit beefier in terms of size strap as well. And so you'll see that on the website as far as an upgrade if that's something you want. Or for those that say, I just need something really sleek and simple, you can use this 1-inch strap or this 1.5-inch strap with this shoulder softener. For many of you, the transition from the college backpack to a briefcase has been a little tumultuous. So what we've tried to do is offer a backpack option so that when you're running through the airport or you're on vacation and you don't care about not having a satchel look like a traditional satchel, we've introduced what we call our backpack option. And these 2 straps, along with these 2 D-rings, come as an option, and you can add these D-rings on yourself. This D-ring comes standard with all the bags, and you can very simply snap those on, and they work beautifully as a backpack. Of course, you can adjust them per your needs, and then they very easily pop off. And I know many of you who then have to run into maybe the boardroom or to a more official meeting would rather have kind of the standard backpack be gone and the satchel be your normal perception of routine. You can take these and put these in your rollerboard or a suitcase, and you don't have to even know that they're there. So what I want to show you now is our 4316 in Scotch Grunge with the varied pouches on the bag. Again, this is the same size bag as the Crazy Horse bag right here, except this has more pouches and more containers on it. And those cases allow the bag to be almost doubled in size per your needs. So let me show you how that works. For example, we've created, this is the back side of our 4316, we've created a pouch that holds a 15-inch MacBook Pro, which is sort of the industry's standard in terms of one of the larger computers out there right now. Or it holds documents, or it holds cables. It just depends what your needs are. And again, this 1 inch thick, the size of the bag, about 10 inches tall, about 16 inches from left to right, this case is completely removable. We've got here on the front, we have some cases that are a little bit small. Well, they're half the size of the case I showed you in the back. You can place those on the bag, and again, they're completely removable and interchangeable. These cases can literally go on the back, and the back larger one can go on the front or vice versa. So they're easily interchangeable. Again, all I do is I unbuckle these straps here, pull the straps out, and weave the straps back into the bag. And you can buy these a la carte. You can buy them however many you need. Maybe you decide you want 4 of these, 2 on the front, 2 on the back, or you want 2 of these cases, 1 in the back and 1 in the front. Again, whatever your needs are. So here's our third color of leather that we make the 4316 in. We have the Scotch Grunge, we have the Crazy Horse, and then we have this natural tan, some call it veg tan in the industry. And this is not only a beautiful hide, it's got the same kind of thickness, same kind of quality as the other bags, but just takes on a complete different persona. When this bag touches my hands, lighting, the water on the floor and the bed of my truck, it absorbs everything around. It's a complete sponge. So this natural tan takes on a very different tenor than any of our other hides. But what I wanted to show you with this bag is we actually have side pouches that we sell as well. So these are perfect for sunglasses, pens, rulers. Some of you guys are in the field as engineers, and you might need some basic tools. And these are perfect for those as well. So what I want to do is I want to show you these pouches when they're not on the bag, and so you have an idea of how they work. Again, here's our larger one that holds a larger computer. This is our medium one that is great for larger items. And then here's our small one that goes on the side. These are completely interchangeable in terms of the front or back, however you want to do those. The way we design it is we put a bunch of holes in the back of each of these pieces. And that allows the strap that comes with, the two straps that come with the bag, to be interwoven into this piece and the bag itself. And this is where all the work really in terms of designing this had to play out. We had to think through each of these scenarios, and I can't tell you how many times we made mistakes in this, and it haunted us for quite a while, but we feel like we've been able to really dial it in and really excited about how this is going to serve you. Here's how a bag like this can serve not only on the back of your bag or on the front attached, but this also, especially this larger one, and maybe you'll find this true of this as well, has this sort of capacity to be a document holder or computer holder in and of itself. So maybe you decide you're not going to travel with it on the road, on the back of your bag, because you don't need it for the time being, but it's something you decide you want to put inside the bag. And when you pull it out, it holds your computer, holds documents. So if you have to run into another meeting where it doesn't require your entire bag, you might just take this as a document holder or computer holder in and of itself. I carry one of these for just my computer, put my earbuds in there, put documents, my journal, maybe a pen and some small items. And so again, it allows me at different times, different contexts, not to feel like I need to take my entire bag with me. So that's how these serve not only on the bag, but off the bag as well. For the last 6 months, I have personally been using this bag. I've been living with it. I've been throwing my items into my goods into it, the stuff that I use day to day that makes my world a reality. I just came back from vacation with my family. I had that bag full of stuff. I'm going to the studio here today, and I've got my bag full of the stuff that I need to make the day-to-day work reality happen. I might go to the park later on and want to pull out my iPad and a bottle of water. What ends up happening is these bags become more than just some sort of utilitarian item. They become part of my day-to-day. I know it sounds a little dramatic, but when I scratch this bag, when I drop it, when I mark it, when it shows the wear and tear of my day-to-day, it tells my story. It tells my narrative. And so what it does is it makes this become more than just something that I carry the things that I value, but the container itself, the bag itself, becomes a value. And so again, I want to thank you for the opportunity that you give us, that you allow us to be into your world, to get into your reality, and to make the kinds of goods that you deeply attach to. Not just because you like the bag, but because that bag, it tells your story. It tells your narrative.